Yo, what is up, PvE family? It's your boy PvE Cricket, finally back at it again. It's been a while, guys. I'm glad to be back. Hope everybody is glad to be watching again. And yeah, let's just, I'm happy to be back making content. Um, I hope that I can, make some more good content for you guys. And this is the start. Set 21 is releasing a very good deck, and my probably favorite deck of all time. Sorry to my boy Messian back there, but uh, I really enjoy the Hyperbolic Time Chamber, and it's very meaningful to me. So I'm very very excited about this deck. So let's just jump right into it, guys. I will have a link in the description for this deck, or you can skip to the end of the video to see the full list. And yeah, with that, let's just get started, guys. So we've got Gohan here. It's a very good generic green leader. It's definitely what green needed in terms of generic things. Very solid on the front. You play the Hyperbolic Time Chamber, and just to be clear, I will be briefly explaining what all these cards do, in case of course there are people that don't know what the deck does or what the cards do, all that stuff. So please bear with me. Um, you play your field when you put the leader, so basically you've got one less card in your deck, technically, which is good for deck building and consistency potentially. And then when it attacks, you just top 5 for any green Saiyan. That is an extremely strong ability. You can find your SCR, you should be playing the new one. It's extremely strong, but you don't have to. There is a couple other viable options. And then you've got your regular, 4 or less or alternative awaken condition, in which case, in this case, it's the Goku in play. On the back, you've got a really strong first effect. It's the super combo effect. Bottom, when you combo, you bottom and draw 2. So you break even, which is weird for leaders. Normally you +1, but with the second effect, you can actually +1 off of this leader's backside still, at least during your turn. So when one of your Gohan's attacks, you can combo something from the drop of the skills negated, and then that lets you bottom 1 and draw 2, which you +1 with. Really strong leader. The Z leader is also really strong, which we'll get to later, but let's get into some of the engine cards here. The first one is Krillin. Now, we'll say that this deck is, 53 cards? 52, like I said, because you play the chamber immediately. If I had to change something out of this deck right now, unfortunately, it would probably be Krillin. Krillin is very strong, but if I needed space, unfortunately, the GOAT would have to come out. Okay, Krillin's the GOAT, man. He's the best in Dragon Ball. There's no cap in that statement. But and Krillin is just another searcher. You play one, top 5 for a 4 less green Saiyan, very strong. And then the second auto, basically when you combo it from your board, you draw one and put him in your Z energy. Very strong. It becomes a +1 for a 1 drop. That is really solid as a turn 3 play, because that's when you'll. Oh, sorry, the condition is to have a skillless card in your combo when you combo him as well. So this works really well with the backside, which is why it's a good turn 3 play. Turn 3 is when you will awaken. You play Krillin, combo him off, +1. Fantastic. Then some of the card engines, engine cards. Goku Gohan, 8, because you really need to see them on one of these on turn 2, because that's when you'll play your Z card. Goku is also, they're both searchable by Krillin and the leader, but Goku is searchable by another card. By saying that, you guys probably know what card I'm talking about, but I will mention it later. Both really good cards. Goku's really hard to interact with. He's a barrier 4 drop. Now with things like Gamma Gone, it's probably going to be hard to answer this card when it comes down. So you should have a relatively safe awakening. When it comes from under, gains 10, goes to 24. And then you also pay 1 to draw 1 and play the Gohan from under your, why am I blanking? Time Chamber. So it's just really solid chain. Then Gohan comes out, he deflect 20k, won't really die, unless you're playing like the Green Mirror and people are playing, Frieza, which most people seem to like to. I don't like running unisons anymore, and especially in green decks, because they need the tempo. But he KOs something when he comes into play. Fantastic effect. Whenever you combo the Goku from the drop, which you can do with your leader's effect, of course, when he swings, you can remove 2 markers from your opponent's unison, which is really good. And then both of these guys, whenever they go under the time chamber, they will go search the other one from the deck. So you put Goku under with the Z card effect, which is basically what it does, and then you go search Gohan and put it under from the deck and shuffle your deck. Really good, cycles a card out of the deck, always really good effect. Up next is the Goku SR. This card's really good. We all know it. It's, you know, SPR. I would rather not run the SPR because I'm tired of seeing Goku sending Cell away, but it is still a really good art. Basically, this is Frieza for non-Unison decks, but you have to like. It's weird. It's like Gohan, but not. It goes down to 1 based on the Z cost of your cards. So you have like, I don't know, like a Dr. Garo in play. He's 1, and then you have to have 2 more. It's not super hard to get to, but if your deck is not playing a Z layer, it's gonna be tough. We don't really have like barrier Z cards in green yet, which, you know, is a little tough. You know, Garo helps in that area, but he's only 1, so this card probably won't see much play yet outside of like green decks that have Z leaders like Gohan, Super 17, all that stuff. But it's still very good. You put something 7 or less into your opponent's Z energy, and then you just remove 2 markers for some reason. In this deck, he is also a free 10k combo when you are a Z leader and it's your opponent's turn, which is really useful. And then he's also useful because he is a 1 cost 10k, which will come up in the next couple of cards. Uneasy Awakened Rage, fantastic SR, generic for green for the most part, green Saiyan leaders. It's a hard negate, and then it taxes your opponent. They have to discard 1 to their Z energy, so it doesn't even count as a discard for like Dabura. You can free cast it by discarding 1, but then you also have to discard for the Floodgate effect, so it becomes like a -3. It's very hefty, and the effect is only live when you're 4 less life. So it is a bit hefty. Outside of Gohan, I would have to like really consider playing it over like Dormant, even if I had to tap for it. This is something that I talked about with my friend Cody, and I've come around now. I think I agree with him. The reason that it's hard outside of Gohan is because in Gohan, you actually draw from activating this card. That's the auto at the bottom. You draw from activating the counter. But overall, this card is fantastic. Definitely a 4 of. It is limit 1, so that can buy me back, but you know, it's fine. Lastly, other than the time chamber, you've got this fantastic A drop. I think this is like probably the best card printed in the set outside of the SCRs. Extremely good. Comes down for 2. It's just a better faded Goku. Basically, if you're not interested in running the Piccolo with the Goku in your deck and your green decks, this is just an upgrade from it, which is crazy to me because Goku is a fantastic card, very good card. But this is kind of just better. It's deflect double barrier when it comes down, pretty much. It is 35k as well, so it is even higher power. When it swings, remove something in my barrier, and your opponent discards 1. And on top of that, in its battle, when you call it, and if your opponent's 3 or higher life, when you combo with a 1 cost 10k Goku, basically, your opponent just crits 1 life. This card is extremely stacked, man. I read you the card. I don't need to explain why it's good. Lastly, we've got Time Chamber. Of course, comes down when you put your leader down. It has barrier, so it's not gonna get blown up. It makes your leader 50k on the front when it has Gohan under it, which is really good. Only 2 cards can be under it, and then it also lets you self-awaken when you play a card from under it. Pretty much, that's the errata to it. You can take up to 2 life, which is extremely good for control matchups. And yeah, it has to be in active mode, which is relevant because your Z card Goku will switch it to rest mode. But I can read that later. And then this is it for the archetype. Very, very light, and you know, I said I might even consider taking out Krillin. Very light archetype, man. This is great for green. Again, very generic, very great. Now, if you go on Facebook, you've seen somebody make a post about this. I did not put this card in my deck because of that. I was actually looking for a 1-drop Saiyans that are cantrips, basically because this deck wants to have a Z energy on turn 2, of course. And like I said, I want to play Krillin on turn 3, so I want to have an alternative. This card is fantastic. I've only shown you like half of the deck, and I've already got 12 targets for this card. It searches top 7 for a Goku, green Goku. Fantastic. And I've got more in the deck. Here they are. Right here. I've got 5 more Gokus in the deck, so I've got 15 targets for a top 7. Fantastic. 16, sorry, I do play the SCR. but it's a really good card. Searches out your Gokus, and it's not like these clock the deck either. They're also fantastic cards. You know, you've got the Furious. It's a 1-drop crit 15, makes your opponent discard 1. Fantastic turn 3 play. And you'll notice that I have a lot of these turn 3 plays, which matters because when I tested this deck, and I haven't tested it much, by the way, I found myself not really having anything to top 4 on turn 3, so I just tried to find a lot of options for me on turn 3 for 1 energy, and it's been working out. You know, I have to tweak the ratios and take some cards out maybe, but fantastic card. And then this Goku, I really like this one personally. It has barrier. 15k barriers are very good in this game. We know that because of the Gamma, but Rip Gamma, rest in peace. I really like that deck. Other people probably didn't, so they don't agree with me. But that's okay. I love Gamma. Anyway, this Goku comes in for 1. If all your energy is green and you have a battle card in play, you also could take a life off of it. Fantastic as always. The permanents aren't relevant because I don't play Tien, so I won't bother reading that. But again, 15k barrier, Goku, fantastic. And we've got insert Gogeta combo into the deck. If you don't know, this is Gogeta BR super combo. It's the ones from like the Zenkai. So if you have Zenkai related stuff and you're 2 Z energy, Z leader, or Z battle card on play, that's the condition for it to draw. And then basically this Vegeta will get it back to your hand, which is very, very strong. I only have it at 3 because again this deck is at 53, it's a bit tight, so yeah. But then a nice little tech I like to run because I have a red card in the deck is I run this check land. So basically when you charge it into your energy, you can warp a red and green card from your drop so that you can ignore the energy exhaust. And the reason this is relevant is because I play Focus Breakthrough in the main. You know, I'm an aggro player. I like countering your floodgates. Everybody should. I think everybody should always main deck counter plays from floodgates. But basically, Focus Breakthrough, if I have a multicolor in my energy, I can take a life to play it instead, which is extremely valuable if you're trying to push for game, because that means you're not having to use an energy on it and you can use it on something else. You know, like I said, I've got a lot of 1 energy plays in this deck. Not having to pay for that energy can really win you a game. So this is a little tech I like to throw into like every deck now, and every deck that I play this combo anyway. I really recommend you guys to like do something like this in your decks if you can fit it. You'll definitely see it pay you back. I've done this in Kai with like Super. Well, you don't really have to try to do it in Kai because Super Kamehameha. Anyway, in 18 I play Absolute Release Ball, and I do charge a blue green, and it is fantastic. It works extremely well. And then here's the goat. Save the best for last. Just have to give a moment of silence for the goat. You know, this card spiked massively, I think because of this deck. Basically, you just play for 1 of this A field on board, so it's even a good side against it. But, you know, my boy Kevin out there, shout out Kevin in Turtle School. My boy knows this card is busted. Crit blocker, 19k, 1 energy play, fantastic turn 1 or 2 play. All there is to say about this card. Monkey. For the couple negatives of this deck, Homicidal, Command Deflection. I don't need to explain these cards to you guys. These are staples in every green deck pretty much now. Token Negate, KO4 or less. Fantastic cards. Put them in your deck. In every green deck, please. Oh, if you charge green energy, you can play this one. Put it in your deck. And then for the SCR, like I showed earlier, I am playing Goku. I was playing Cell Zeno, but because of a certain deck that I really hate now called Poku, and tall decks in general, you're going to want to have this card. I had Cell Zeno because you create 12 out of thin air. Look, I saw 8 and 4. My brain just turned on. My neurons activated. I did the math. 8 plus 4, 12. Cell Zeno, busted. Get to turn 5. GG. Okay, but yeah. Tall decks that go at you early hurt. So here's a 20k to my leader. That's pretty much it, man. This card is, I mean, it's just strong in general. It is a Goku 1-cost combo. It can be relevant to like burn your whatever. It's just a really good card. And for this deck specifically, it doesn't negate your leader's abilities when it restands, so you actually get, what, a 30k triple strike swing base when you combo and activate this, and then you get a 40k double strike swing, so it's extremely strong in this deck. But yeah, that's it for the main deck, guys. Quickly talk about the Z deck. I've only got 4 cards in here, because I don't feel like you need any more. You can just throw in, you might as well fill the rest out, right? So you can put in, like, I don't know, 1 Garo, 1 Frieza, 1 Jiren in case you get to like turn 5 and you feel like you don't have anything to play. You've always got your Z deck available, reliable, good old reliable. But yeah, 2 Gokus. This might go down to 1 since I'm not playing Cell Zeno anymore. This was a really good turn 4 play to set up the 4 on turn 5, but you might not want to do that anymore, so this could go down to 1. But this basically rests your hyperbolic time chamber, so you can't play the chain in the same turn, which I think is really balanced. Tuck the Goku or the Gohan, and then that'll tuck the other one off of their effect. Basically, you get both of them in a room. And then if you tuck a card, you KO something 3 or less. Remember that. I never do. Just like I never remember to put the freaking field on board when I put my leader down. I'll get shocked on that at one point, and I'll be so mad at myself. And then the other effect is if you have 4 more energy, you give your leader 10k for the turn, activate main. You know, it's a good secondary effect to have. And you know, Android 16 and the Z leader, Android 16 stacks the Z leader under it. When 16 is removed, you get a 4 life, put the Z leader on top. You can't interact with this card at all, which I think is extremely good. No matter what your opponent does, you will Z Awaken. And then your Z leader is 20k base, double strike base. Already really good. I don't even know why, they put foreshadowing. They're bringing Reboot Gohan back. Please do. God, please do. But hey, if they ever make another Gohan Childhood, you can fall on top of it. But basically, it has the same effect as the leader. Regular Awakened leader, sorry. You combo with some. You can combo with a 10k 1 cost combo Goku for free, which is relevant for the burn effect in this deck, and then activate main, you just discard 1, draw 2. It's absolutely fantastic that you don't have to swing with your leader to draw. That should come up a lot for you guys, given all the floodgates that exist in the game. You're not always going to want to swing with your leader first, even though it's 20 double. So not having to swing with it is a fantastic option. Very, very good to not have to swing with it. And just cycling 2 cards is always really strong. Don't currently have a side deck, because I don't play green. I don't know what the hell to put in my side deck. Probably Dormant, some other stuff. But yeah, this is the deck, guys. Hope you enjoyed watching. Hope you got some useful information out of it. If you have any questions, always feel free to leave them in the comments. Feel free to hit me up on Facebook too. I'm always around Discord as well. I'm everywhere online. I live on this computer. So if you guys ever need any help, I'm always open to talk about decks. And if you enjoyed the video, please consider supporting the channel. And yeah, guys, that's it. Please take care.